Good morning and welcome, everyone. It is Marie here with the Skeinz Diaries. Oh, gosh, technology and I have not been friends today. It has been an absolute dog's breakfast today, total dog's breakfast. I'm still trying to. The Everything has not worked with this, and as you can see, I'm only coming to you on YouTube, so I'm really sorry about that. I am still trying to figure out what's going on with Facebook. It is all at their end, not mine, and I can't figure it out, so I'm sorry about that, guys. Hello, look, and I grabbed this from the shop and I'm a mess. Look at me, an absolute mess. You are with the Skeinz Diaries. I'm Marie. It is the episode 248. And today, hey Nadine, how are you? It is the 8th of May. There you go, Monday. Honestly, talk about disaster. Look, here's a bunch of being dipped in the fountain of youth, though. So I'm feeling, fab. Feeling fab. Yeah, I know, it's an absolute pain. So I'm really sorry if you're used to using Facebook. It's something to do with Facebook, and they've gone and changed some permission or something, and it depends on which browser you use and all of these different things. And it's above my technical play grade, and I have spent literally hours today trying to get it figured out. It's been a pain in the butt. That's all right. I'm here now, and I thought that's why I let you all know to go over it to YouTube, because that is still working, so at least we can get it out, right? Oh, my lordy. How's everyone's weekend? We've now actually got sunshine here, which is great because it's been very grey, but it's good, and it's nice to see the sun, and the sun's coming through our office window at the moment, and literally I was sitting there just before I came here, and just the sun's on my back, and oh, it was so good. Felt like a wee kitten. I could have gone to sleep, I tell you. I have done practically stuff all knitting. In fact, I did no knitting on my brother's project at all, and literally this is all I'm doing a slipper. This is as far as I've gotten on the slipper. I was showing Veronica this morning, and she even looked at me and she said, well, you didn't get much done, did you? And I went, no. I had this huge, wonderful, great plan to do lots of knitting on Sunday, and it all went out the window because by the time, I got caught up on all the washing and changed the beds and all of that life stuff, it just didn't happen. It was rather annoying. I'm not liking not having time to knit. But that's okay. And I've gone and remembered that I haven't grabbed what I needed to grab, but that's right, because I have the interweb. So I'm going to do this because I have started this with the interweb. So let's just do this. There we go. The pattern is on my desk, so we're not going to panic about this because we're going to use this. Right. Oh, look, stop it. I think, there we go. We're back to normal. So the one thing that has happened today, wahaho, is the Catharsis cardigan that got released for Ethan's birthday last week. So there's the V-neck version there. Here is look at that lovely round neck version. And I sent the newsletter out today on the Catharsis cardigan. And it is just gorgeous. Is it not the most gorgeous thing you have ever seen in your entire life? He has been working on this for quite some time, and it is so wonderful to see it done and completed. He's used the beautiful Nouveau solid, and then a spin cycle. Dream State, I think, is what he's used for the colour work, which of course you can get from him at Outlaw. But the good news for us is that, of course, it works just as well with Pulse. And I have gone and grabbed some Pulse for you. And I did put this out in the newsletter. But the beautiful thing about doing the Catharsis cardigan and Pulse is that if you are unable to have the budget that stretches to spin cycle, because it is a little pricey, we can hook you up this month with Flight and Pulse. And remember, there is that coupon, 25% off coupon that you can use, which is TM double time, all one word, which runs till the end of this month, because of course Flight and Pulse are perfect for double time. So I went and just grabbed some yarns, and to just sort of show you on camera some of the color combinations. Now, as you can see there with the Catharsis that he is wearing, contrast is king. I can't emphasize it enough. Contrast is king. So with that in mind, put that under there. Oh, good grief. I know, you can tell I grabbed this off the shelf. There is, this is Dragonfly in flight. And Dragonfly, essentially any single pulse yarn that we've got in the range goes with Dragonfly. It's as simple as that. Easy. But I did grab Quake because those two there look fantastic. But I also grabbed Disco, which is the one that I'm, oopsie daisies, which is the one that I'm wearing here. So as you can see, you get lovely contrast against Disco. And there's the Disco there. And that is Flutter. Great contrast. However, there's more than one way to get contrast. And you saw with Ethan's sample, the V-neck one that I first popped up, he did one where he used cream as his contrast. And against the pulse yarns, as you can see, with cream, and this is Dove in flight, it looks fab. Oh, right, looks so, so good. But if cream's not your jam, it's a little too glaringly white, that's okay because you can soften it down a bit with Kiwi. So that is the Kiwi there in Flight Naturals, because that too is also on the discount. I apologise now for the light because, of course, the light there is out. So I'm relying on natural light over this other side. So there you go. So that is another good contrast combination. Now you can also go back and do something really zany. And I've gone on, but see, I have this, I love Mantis. I really do love Mantis. And Mantis works so incredibly well. Like that, see what I mean? It gives this absolutely incredible pop. Look at that. Pop. Oh, pop, 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 pop. Yes, and Delene's saying Dragonfly looks great with Adagio. Yeah, it does. And Kathy's saying on the project pages, there's a stunning version by Michelle Wilson, 2 solid colors. Yes, and I'm very, Kathy, you read my mind. I'm so glad you brought that up because yes, hers was it Intrepid and I want to say not Scallywag, but I know what you're talking about. Actually, I can look that up. Oh, shall I pull it up? I have the power. Let's do that, shall we? On the project pages, you reckon, Kathy? That's what you're doing, Kathy. I know. You were nudging me in that direction. I'm a bit slow today because nothing has been working for me today. It is Intrepid. There we go. I knew it was Intrepid. Actually, that's probably, what was the other colour just before we jump into that? Intrepid Escapade. There we go. She'll do this one because it's just gives you a really good view of the side. So let me just pop that up in the screen. There we go. Let's pull that down a little bit so you can see it a wee bit better. Look at that. Yeah. And actually, doesn't that look great with 2 solid colours, which is why I actually grabbed those 2 out, which is Weka and Kiwi and Flight Naturals. So if you wanted to go naturals, that would look incredible. And I mean, to be brutally honest, you could do Southlander in this as well. And looking at the gauge, hey Sue, how are you? Looking at the gauge, it's a 24 stitch gauge and it is a beautiful, thick, rich fabric that it creates. I remember seeing this when it was a work in progress. Someone put it in as a work in progress. You could actually use, if you wanted to, using for that 24 stitch gauge, Southlander Sport or Highlander Heather Sport or Trudy Myrtle Sport as well. So any of those 3 will actually, and it will just slightly lighten the fabric up a little bit so it won't quite be as dense. And if you're in warmer climes like we are up here, that is not necessarily a bad thing. So you've got a lot of options there. And from what I understand from those that have done the test knitting is that because the pattern is actually, and having a look at the chart too myself, that it's the sort of repeat that very, very quickly you get into reading the knitting in your chart, essentially, and it's easy to read, and it actually becomes quite rhythmic. So when you look at it, you think, "Ooh, I can't attempt that," when actually in reality, it's not that difficult to do. So if you're looking for a project that you can really sink your teeth into this winter, I think the Catharsis cardigan it will look really, really good. Margaret's asking, is Mantis related to the Kaffir lime and shade? It is zingier than the Kaffir lime. The Kaffir lime was a little deeper than this. This is definitely, it's a real classic key lime, like lovely bright lime. It's probably a little brighter than the Kaffir. The Kaffir was a little bit deeper. It's lovely. It's nice and really lovely and zingy. Love it. So yes, I can really recommend the Catharsis cardigan. Just having, and of course, Ethan has written it for both the neck styles. He has got formulae in there so you can get shoulder shaping and sleeve shaping just perfect, which of course you would want to do. You want to make sure it's bang on, and it's all is there. Absolutely all is there. So it's really, really exciting. I think definitely worth one checking out. See, look, those two were just sitting next to each other. See, they would work. Hummingbird and dragonfly and dove. Now, the other pattern that I popped out in the newsletter this morning is an extension to an existing pattern, which is the Grandpa's Tea by Delene, who's in the chat today. And she has always had available via Ravelry her original Grandpa's Tea, which is in newborn to 4 years. And because of the knitathon, bless her heart, she has graded it up to do the school age version, which is awesome. So I really appreciate that, Delene. I know already we've had feedback from Te Karaka that they just love these vests because they're just so jolly handy. So they're now sized up from years 5 to 11, which is brilliant. And that is in Ravelry. And if you want to get the ebook, which is both patterns, Delene is doing 25% off both of those. And you need to, and the hit me with I've forgotten the code. Delene's going to give me the code in here in a second. I'll let you know what it is. And the code it will give you 25% off at checkout, so you can save on that as well. And it's just brilliant. So I actually bought them today. Oh, there we go. Margaret got them today too. Yeah, so this is it here. This is Grandpa's Tea. And it's just brilliant. It just is such a neat, wicked little vest, and it's just like a nice wide arm. I know that if I had this around when my little guys were of a size, I would have just absolutely thrashed these. The other reason I loved this too is if you've not worked knitting in the round before, this could actually be a really good first project for knitting in the round, because you're starting up here and you're knitting flat up until that portion there. I hope I've got this right, Delene, because I've oh, there we go. See, I'm going to put that on screen. There we go. Look at that. That's the code. That's your code to get 25% off. So I'm going to leave that on the screen. So this, now just correct me if I'm wrong too, Delene. You work flat up until this portion here, and then you join. Once you've done your arm, like your little bitsy bobs there, then you join in the round to go down. Now, if you've not knitted in the round before, why this is so perfect is that's a decent size circumference that's actually a nice circumference to learn on as a first project, because you can do this on a sort of 50-60 centimeter cable, or a 60 centimeter fixed circular if you're on fixed, without having to do magic loop, because that's one of the things that gets a bit sort of fiddly for people. So if you've got your circular needle, use your circular needle to knit the top part, and then you get used to working with it. So you just work it flat, like yes, knitted flat to the armhole, bind off the join, and then in the round. Great, yes, excellent. That's what I thought you were doing, Del. Where was I? Yes, so you can do that. So you can practice working with it at the top there. And then when you go to do, as she said, the bind offs there for the underarm, do the bind offs, and then you sort of loop round to knit it in the round. And it's just a nice circumference to go round and just get you used to just knitting in the round. You will find this, if you've never done it before, if you're an absolute newbie to knitting in the round in stocking stitch like this, you will not get over how fast this thing will move, because you're only doing knit stitch and you just keep doing knit stitch again and again and again and again and again and again. It is easy peasy lemon squeezy. It is so good. And I've just had a look at this, Deline, you absolute overachiever, in her jogless stripes. Overachiever, Deline. Such an overachiever. So these are some beautiful stripy ones. And I just grabbed these out. I love this one. See, what I love about this is, think of this as a complete blank canvas. This is a blank canvas. And look at this. You know, you can do so much fun stuff with this. So Deline's going to mix this up. Some of this is just single. And this is the nice thing about working in the round. You can do a single row stripe. So these two rows there, obviously this is garter, so that'll be 2 rows, but you don't have to. You can do an absolute single row if you want. It makes it so easy. So it can be an absolute blank canvas. You can use any scraps and stuff that you want to use up. You can play around with color work. You can play around with stitch patterning, anything like this in the round. There is so much that you can do with this. And it is, I know, Margaret, it is super cute, right? Absolutely super cute. I just think it's gorgeous. So that Grandpa's tee is the regular tee. The baby one is there now. The school age one is there. As I said before, if you use this code, that's right there, Skeinz Knitathon May 23, it takes it down for $7.50 for both patterns. I know, stop it. It's very generous. Thank you, Deline. So definitely do that. We are, and this is actually, and I'm glad I've got this, because Deline does this better than anyone else. So she, obviously, because Del does lots of her own crafts that she sells, but this is how she sends all of hers in, with the tag, and they are all sized. Now, you don't have to be as professional as this if you don't have it, but even if you just have a Vivid or a Sharpie, and you just even pop your size on the tag here, it just helps us, because we grade these, because we often, we're sending out family packs, Alfano packs, or we're sending up stuff to, like we've got some stuff going up to a kohanga reo in Rotoria, so we need to make sure we get the sizings right. So if you can size your garment that you've knitted it for, that helps us at this end. And if you've got your yarn tag or tags, if you could just pop them on there as well, what this does is it gives us the washing instructions. So then that way we know what, they've got washing instructions when it goes to their final home. So if you could do that, that's hugely helpful. And those school-aged ones would be brilliant, because we've been distributing the smaller ones through preschools, kohangas and the like, but we are wanting to start getting them distributed now to some of the primary schools. We've certainly had requests from them and Kuroko Papas. So if you are able to do that, that would be amazing, because then we can get those out. Regina's saying, now I can make grandpa tees. Yes, kids 5 to 8, exactly. And the vests are great. And she's dead right. She's saying because they stay warm, but movement's not restricted. And honestly, I knitted lots of Milo vests. If you're a Milo person, we love Milos too. If you've already got that pattern, I did Milo vests for my boys, 10 million Milo vests. And it was just brilliant, because they'd have a skivvy or a long sleeve t-shirt underneath. And that's what these are perfect for. So they've got that layer underneath. And if the yarn isn't as super soft as you would hope, we'll see if they've already got a layer on underneath. And the way that Del has designed that wee neck, see, it doesn't bother them. So good. So good. The largest size, 11 years, only uses 650 gram balls, Delina's saying. That is brilliant, isn't it? Really? Because it just means that you can do it. And to get the colour changeover, just give the row before a wee tug. Yep, and it just helps those stripes line up. So those, if you're on the newsletter, do make sure you open that newsletter or check your spam folder if it's ended up in there, because I have put links to both of those in the newsletter. And I think think I will have, I think I've got the links in here as well, but they are definitely well worth doing. And they, particularly if you're wanting to do some quick knitting for kids over the winter, I just honestly can't recommend that Grandpa's Tea enough. It is just an absolute cracker. What else have we got happening this week? I've got some new yarn. I'm just waiting for one more colour to be done at the mill, and then that can go into the photography bundle to go up to the photographer. So that means, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, I will have not one lot, but 2 lots of yarn to bring you next week, which will be exciting. Oh, Delina's just saying discount is valid to the 21st. There you go. A couple of weeks. Mind you, get onto it now, or you'll forget. So make sure you do it straight away. So 21st of this month. And the Pulse and Flight 25% off using the code TM double time, all one word, all in capitals, is until the end of this month here online. Anywho, where was I? All over the show today. What was it? Oh, yes, yarn. I've got a new alpaca 4-ply, which will be very exciting. That's coming in from Alpaca Yarns. We're very excited about that. And it's actually a really good full range of colours, super soft. Oh my gosh, it is so soft. And it's all the colours are completely different to what we've got currently available in Mahana, which is even better. And it's a slightly heavier, it's more like merino soft, but the alpaca version. So it's that sort of weight, and it is delicious. So if you've been looking to do something in super soft alpaca, that is coming. And we've got the Heddle merino I was telling you about the other day, which is this beautiful coloured fine merino. And we've got that in a tonal range. I think there's 10 yarns, 12 actually, 12 yarns in the range. And it's they're actually, one of them similar, actually very, very similar colour to this, very similar tone to this. And the other one is slightly darker. And it is spun to the same construction as our orb DK. So it's that beautiful tubular cylindrical twist on twist. It is utterly divine. I did a little sample swatch when we were doing some testing with it. It is so amazing. We've not, it's not machine washable. When you've got merino this jolly good, the last thing you want to do is put it through a machine wash process, because it just takes all the buttery character out of it, and you want that beautiful butteriness. It is amazing. And what we've gone and done is we've gone and put 5 very, very soft tonal shades over the 2 different coloured bases to give you a range of colours that are all slightly tonal. So they actually, I went over and picked some more of them up today. I'm just gathering them all up for the photographer, and they just look so pretty. And they would look amazing if you work them together or you work them separately, and there's some contrast there. So that could be a yarn that would work beautifully for these projects, but it really is totally delicious. So that is coming. Oh, and we pulled together a colour range. Me and the girls today, all of us got together and did some colours for another new range, which will hopefully should be here for Knit August Nights. It's one we're doing for Can. We'll hope it might even be before Can, actually. But the goal is Knit August Nights at the end of August is sort of, we want to have everything in and available by that time. So that is coming. We finalised the new Highlander Heather colour today, the blend on that. So that will be coming through. There's some really fun yarns still to come this winter. Now, Knit August Nights. That is chugging along beautifully. So thank you to everyone that's already registered. But if you do fancy still coming along, there are still some excellent class options available. I think, well, last time I checked, there was 1 space left in the masterclass, but that may have gone. So there's still about 1/3 of spaces left. There's a few spaces left in both of the neck and shoulder shaping classes with Libby. The pocket class definitely's got spaces in it. And there's just a smattering of spaces, sort of like 1 or 2 or 2 or 3 in knitting from the inside out. So if you're somebody who wants to learn to knit in the round, this class will act as a primer for that. So that's knitting in the inside out with Lisa. I think there's a little bit left. There's a handful of spaces with wheel spinning with Deline. If you don't have a wheel, we will have a number, some wheels to loan you. What else was there? Neck and shoulders, yeah, and pockets, and that's it. I think the rest of them are all done and dusted, sold out. Wow. Yes, Patricia, a new Highlander Heather, and it's going to be a pink. So it's going to be very, we've used the Ahern in Callie & Co. as our base, sort of as our guide colour. So it will, and Peter bought in just a small blended piece hand spun this morning, and we ran it up against all the other colors, and it just looked fabulous next to all of them. So it's going to be a similar depth to the Scotch Mist, but a pink version. And pink mist, ooh, it's a gaming term. If you know what that is, you'll go, oh, Marie, really? But it looks fabulous next to that. It's at that sort of depth, and then again, it's a lovely contrast against the Glencoe, the Stornoway, and the Brigadoon. So if you're wanting to do some contrast and some color work, it will look fabulous. And it also too is a lighter pink than anything that we've got in either Truly Myrtle or Southlander Sport. So it's going to be fabulous. So that'll probably be, well, as I said, I only just finalized the blend this morning with Peter. So that'll probably be 6 or 8 weeks away, but it's that's really, really exciting. Muriel's asking, any more dip dyes coming? Yes, it's a short answer, but we haven't got any base down to put it over, Muriel, so that's what's holding us up. So we're just working on that at the moment. Kathy is saying Ethan is releasing his new DK hat pattern this week. Oh, Kathy, yeah, yes. Classic DK hat and beanie with lengthened rib options. Yes, that's very exciting. And there's so much more. Bronwyn Carroll has been doing, she's been popping it into the speakeasy. She's been doing a promotion with the Encore shawl. It's been 2 years since that was released. Charles is, in fact, I'm going to talk about Charles's patterns next week. He's got a couple of designs that have just come out, and I haven't had a chance to download that yet. So there is lots of really exciting knitting to be had. Heather, who works here, is just actually cast on the mosaic. I think it was the cowl or the hat, I think, that Charles had done. So there is, oh yeah, amazing. Lisa's going pink mist halo ? Yes, I have teenage sons, Lisa. So you can yeah. So Lisa will know what I'm talking about. I don't do the gaming, but I have plenty of raucous young men that do so in my life, so I can certainly know what's going on there. Right, I'm going to head off. Oh gosh, because it's like that time, isn't it? See, this is all throwing me out in the afternoons. Hopefully, touch wood, I will be back and everything will be working on both channels on Thursday. But if not, definitely spread the word to come and join us here on YouTube, because it's, as I said, it's a Facebook Be Live thing, which is my streaming platform, not a me thing, so I've discovered. So definitely will be here on YouTube on Thursday. So take care. I'll see you then.